Here we go, people. I'm back for my live stream. I haven't done them in a while. I had a goal to start doing once a month, and I quickly fell off. I don't even remember what the last one did was March, April. I don't even know. What's up, everybody? There's already a lot of people on here, and you got any questions or comments? You can go ahead and put them in. My goal is to do a little update, like what's been going on. Also got a guy we're going to be talking to here in a minute. Also going to do a real recap of like the Knucklehead tournament. So a lot of this, if you've been following along, or I haven't talked a ton about. I wish I did a little bit better job of talking about the Knucklehead tournament, but we are going to talk about that. And a lot of it because it's the first year. A lot of it's new, so there's a lot of stuff I don't know exactly. So it's kind of hard to do a little bit of promoting. But also I tried to do several videos where I go out and like catch fish, and I was going to make this big deal. And then in those days, and I was going to talk about the tournament and like enter it. And that's the ones where I would like didn't catch anything. So every time I tried to do something like that, it didn't work out. But I went out 2-3 days ago. It was really hot, and I went and fished shallow in Chickamauga Lake, and I haven't done good on the lake in a while. And I caught like 7 or 8 fish. Two that were like over 18 inches, at like a 16 incher and like several 14s on a spinner bait. So that was like really fun. I kind of went up this little creek channel. Thought I was going to catch them up the creek, but they're at like the mouth of the creek in this like dark shade, like with tree overhang. But man, we got a lot of people in here. And like I said, if you got any questions or comments, get them in. I'm going to give a little update. But before we get going too much, I'm going to announce some winners for a $50 discount tackle giveaway. So I've actually started working with Discount Tackle, and it's a online tackle store. And I got some links and stuff that I put in my video descriptions. And if people use them, I earn some money to send traffic their way. But they've also volunteered to give out some gift cards. So I'm gonna give out some $50 gift cards. And the good thing about that is I don't have to send anybody stuff. That's what I hate about. My audio sounds really loud in my head. That's what I hate about the doing giveaways. They annoy me because I have to like think to remember to send stuff to people. But we're gonna have it where I'm just gonna have them send a coupon or coupon code for $50 worth of tackle stuff. Which $50 doesn't go too far in the tackle world these days, but it's pretty good. You can get some stuff, or if you're trying to buy a rod, it's a good starter on a decent rod. But so discount tackle stuff, I'll be doing that, and I got the names written down, and I'll tell you how I picked these names. These are all people from the Knucklehead tournament, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to do another live stream next month. I'm going to try to get back on the schedule. So next month we're going to do some some giveaways from LureNet, which is Pradco, and they said they were going to give a $250 gift card. And I might try to squeeze a couple other things out of them, even if I have to pay for it. I want to try to do maybe a couple other things, so we'll deal with that. So I'll try to do another one next month. And also, there's the kayak that Chad Hoover is going to give away. He's going to give away a bona fide kayak to somebody uh, in the Knucklehead tournament. I think all you had to do was submit fish. It may be everybody, but I think you had to submit 5 fish to qualify. And a lot of people did that. There's over 100 people, at least probably a couple hundred people that did that. But he's going to give that away. That's going to be announced in November, November when our actual tournament is. So right now, let's go ahead and I'm going to tell you who the 4 people are, and I got one of them waiting. He's going to come online and tell us how he caught his fish. So in April, we had 107 entries, or 107 people signed up. 67 people caught fish, and Bart Foster won it. And I talked to him, and I tried to do a live stream, and that's when I did like 5 minutes. The internet went out. I don't know if I saw him on there. He may have been in here. I'm gonna try to get all these other guys back on here, and I want to hear their story. In May, we had 82 people sign up. 47 people caught fish. Albert Poor won. I didn't put the inches down. I forgot. I was going to say that, but I forgot who it was. So Bart Foster, Albert Poor. In June, we had 67 people sign up. 28 people submitted fish, and Kyle Hancock, he won, and he was second in May. He was really close, so he worked really hard, got in there for the third place, and for July, which was my fourth spot, we had 63 people sign up. 25 people, I think I have written down, caught fish, and Scott Black was the winner. So those four guys are going to join me in the actual Knucklehead tournament, where we fish against Chad Hoover's team, against some other guys' teams, and I'm not giving them anything right now because we're going to try to work some stuff out. I'm going to try to help get them to the tournament, and maybe try to get them some gift cards and stuff like that also. But I appreciate those guys working. I appreciate everybody that joined and entered this, and I'm gonna get paid from this. So y'all paid money. I am gonna get get paid some of that money, and we're also gonna give some to a charity, and I'm gonna use some of it for the guys that won. So some of that money is going different places, and so it was really fun. It was cool to see. I hope you had fun with it and got to follow along with who was kind of in the lead. And if you're trying to get there and maybe you just couldn't quite get there, I hope you enjoyed it. Maybe this got people into doing some tournaments. If you like the tournament and you're like, you know what, I like that, had fun with it. There's still more going on, so you can enter. Let me look it over here real quick. You can go to the Fishing Chaos website, and where'd it go? I lost my spot. And there's still teams, so you can, if you want to join another team, you say, hey, I just now heard about it, or I've just now got a kayak. You can join Team Bearded Dad. He's got one going on in August, and somebody's got 95 inches. That's not terrible. So you can beat that. You could team Larry Melton Jr. His first place person's only got 82 inches. So hey, maybe you want to jump on there and go win that one. There's Team Cruise Missile. John Cruz, I think he's still in it. I'm not sure if he is still or not. I heard something, but right now he's still up there. You can join that. He's a professional bass angler. I saw him at ICAST. I walked by and saw him talking. You can join Team Flanders, which I don't know. I tried to find Flanders. I don't know who Team Flanders is. If you know who Flanders is, or his YouTube channel, let me know. There's a lot of fishing channels. I wish I knew. I might know who it is, but I didn't know the name. Also, Team Stark, and I didn't know that name either. So there's a couple of other guys. I got to go find out who these people are because I got to go find out their channels. I want to see what they're doing, what they're putting out there. And then there's Team Wendell, and Darren Wendell. He's got one going on for August. 88 inches is leading his. So, and then there's going to be, I think, a couple more months of people doing some stuff. So if you're like wanting to do more of the Knucklehead stuff, jump on there, do some more. If you entered all four of mine, I really appreciate it. But maybe you're like, you know what? I'm not done. I want to do more. Then go join someone else's and try to win theirs. Also on the Knucklehead, not the Knucklehead, also on the Fishing Chaos app, there's a lot of different tournaments you can do. You might enter 2 or 3 at the same time because you can do that. And let's go ahead and talk to one of the guys that won the tournaments. And he enters a lot of tournaments. And also, I'm excited to see how he won his fish. He is the winner for June, Kyle Hancock. Let me get on here. What's up, Kyle?
Hey, what's up, man? Can you hear me?
Yeah, you're a little quiet.
Good, man. How about you? Can you hear me all right?
Yeah, that sounds good.
All right. Maybe I need this closer to me. Good there?
That sounds pretty good. Can you hear me?
All right, cool, man.
Yeah. Hey, man. So did you fish today?
Yeah, I can hear you. It gets glitchy every now and then, but it always straightens out.
Okay. Did you do any fishing today?
Like right now, it's frozen on my end.
I can see you fine. We'll see if it's working. Can you hear what I'm saying now?
Dude, it's all glitched out on my end.
Huh.
It's all messed up on my end.
I can hear you.
Man, let me try to hook it up on a different internet. I heard about 3 words that you said.
Okay. Well,
Crap.
obviously here.
Um,
Elizabeth says Stark is Jeff
Let me try to get
Burlingame.
it on this
Okay.
5G, man, and try to come back. I don't even see it on here.
All right.
Yeah,
I'm
I'm
going to
getting
take you
like a
off.
half a word at a time. It's like all slow motion.
Okay.
I'm
I'll take
sorry,
you
dude.
off.
Let me try to get this figured out and come back.
Okay. Sounds good. All right. We'll hopefully get a hear from him. I talked to him on the phone a second ago. And so Kyle fishes. Actually, we kayaked together like, dude, it was like 3 or 4 years ago. It was really cool. He's in South Carolina, and I remember that day because I hooked a big bass in the river that he fishes a lot, and I remember it, and it came off, and we went and caught some fish out of the creek. So let's go back to this. Elizabeth, he says Stark is Jeff Burlingham again. Okay. Oh, okay. I got you. Paul got some anglers. Okay, that makes sense. I forgot they do have a. They're in the tournament. The aggressive average angler guys are in the tournaments. I guess they're separate. That's right. Let's see. All right. Well, he's trying to work that out. Hopefully, we can get him back on here. And my goal is to get some of the other guys to give them a chance to kind of tell their story of how they caught their fish. Because I mean, a lot of times people see these. You see, you know, somebody catch a 22, 23 incher, and like, oh, he must be in Texas or Florida. But a lot of times these guys are just in places that they just know really well, or maybe they just got lucky fishing. So, all right, let's do some giveaways. If we can't get Kyle back on after the giveaways, I'll do our creek update and just what's been going on. I'll give like a recap of what I've done recently, and then I got some stuff that I'm gonna attempt to do. I might share a little bit. So, all right, I'll probably try to post these names on a regular video. But what we're gonna do is we're gonna give out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 $50 gift cards. That's right, you heard it. 6 $50 discount tackle gift cards. The first person. So I decided to give 4 of them to the last place people in all the tournaments. So if you were lucky enough to be the last place person, not making fun of you, but you only entered in 1 fish. So good for you for trying. And that's where I'm like, you know what? That person needs a discount, or they need some probably more lures. If they had more lures, they probably would have done better. But we got in 67th place, Ross Colella. Hope I wrote that down right. So I'll probably do another thing where I put these names out. But if you are one of these people mentioned, you can email me. I'll put my email or message me on Instagram. Other than that, I probably won't see it. We got Ross Colella, the second one in 47th place in May. Michael Milligan. Sounds like he needs $50. Michael Milligan. In June, the 28th person was Joey Mitchell. So that's 3. In July, the 25th person was Angie Henderson. We got a girl in there. I don't know I want to know how many women entered the tournament, because my YouTube analytics, I can look at like how many men and women. It's like 96% men, like 4% women. So, and also 2 more. So that's 4. Brian Long, is it? Yeah, Brian Long is going to get a 50. I don't know if he won another tournament or not, but he got 3rd and he got 2nd in one. So he was like right there. So he's like right there, almost won a tournament. Brian Long. And then I picked a random person that didn't even enter any fish, and they need a little motivation. And their name is Brian Birch. 6 people. I'll recap that again. And so hopefully that goes to some of those people are excited. Get some lures. Kyle, you ready? Let's see.
I don't know.
Hey man, you're back on.
All right, I can hear you. You're clear.
Okay.
And now you froze again. You're just oh nope. All right, let's try it. Jeez,
Go ahead and tell
must
us
be
about
my
how you caught
internet,
your
man.
fish.
I don't know.
If you
I
can hear
like to
me,
river fish.
yeah,
I hit my I can hear you good. Can you hear me?
yeah, go ahead.
I like to river fish. All right, I like to river fish. I like to throw a true South Customs jig. This guy makes them around here. He hand ties the skirt. You can see that wire. Um, it's a powder coated paint job. Really good. Where'd I go? There I am. Super killer hook, a freaking gaff of a hook. True South Custom Jigs. You can message the guy. His name's John Martin. You can message him on YouTube, on Facebook, and he will make you some jigs. But yeah, man, I like to river fish. I caught some on top water. I caught some on swim baits. I have to go like every day because some days it's good and some days I catch nothing. So I have to just go as much as I can because the river is just it's just always changing. So you never know. And then I lose a lot of fish out there. There's a lot of rocks, there's trees, but yeah, once I found this jig, this is the one. This is my dude. It's called a fathead jig by True South Customs. Like I said, John Martin on Facebook. He will make you some. Um, that one lasts. I used to buy the cheaper jigs, but they just tear up with all the rocks and rivers. Just they're just full of stuff. So and you get stuck and all that, and you get broken off. These are good.
Let me tell the story about the first time when I came out and fished with you. We
Yeah.
went. You took me, and I wasn't. I was kind of still new to kayaking, and
That you're brand new.
I borrowed like your kayak, I think it was, or your
Yep.
friends. I can't remember.
I used
And
my friends, you used mine.
and we went into like this fast current. And he's like, "Oh, we're just gonna paddle up here." I'm like, "What?" I'm like paddling, paddling. I'm
Yeah.
like, "This is normal." This guy paddles like he can out paddle anything. And you fish out of a paddle kayak. You said you had a pedal drive, but you'd rather paddle.
Yeah, I broke my leg a few years ago, so it puts me in a lot of pain to pedal it, and I didn't try. You should really try them if you can before you buy them, because it's a big investment, and I just didn't, and yeah, it just hurts my leg too much, and then for what I like to do anyway, it you know, I like to paddle. I don't have electronics, which I kinda wanna get some electronics, but what I do, I don't really need them too much.
Yeah, you like current and moving water and stuff like that, and
Yeah,
it's gonna
hard
be it's,
stuff.
it's gonna be that's why when we get down to Gunnersville, it's gonna be different for all of us, I think, because especially if you're like a creek river person like we are.
Yeah.
Um,
I'm hoping to find some of that stuff.
but I'm hoping that I would love to catch some top water on. I know they do like a lot of frog fishing, and that's something I
Yeah.
don't do a lot, but I would love to do it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
same. I'm not a big frogger either, but I was wanting to do that too. Yeah, when you came down, I was worried about ruining kayaking for you. So I didn't wanna do too much out in that water, you know what I mean? Because you were all brand new to it, and,
yeah.
yeah, I was, like, worried about ruining it. I'm glad it didn't, like, leave a bad taste in your mouth or anything, because 'cause you're definitely out there doing it, now.
Yeah, it's amazing how much I've gotten into it. I actually had somebody
Crazy.
comment recently. It was like, "Hey, you used to do a lot of fishing. Now you do a lot of kayaking." I'm like, "Well, that's what I like to do. Like, I'm gonna do what I like to do."
It gets you out there is what I used to bank fish a lot
It
too.
involves like a bunch. It's like a bunch of things in one. And I just any kind of adventure type thing, and plus you're on the water and you're
Yep.
fishing. Like, yeah, it's really fun. I enjoy it so much.
Same, it's really it's addicting is what it is. You get really stuck doing it. I do at least, man. I cannot get enough.
Yeah. Do you
Yeah.
go to Are you going to several places, like moving around, going different places each day, or do you like going to kind of similar
Yeah,
places over?
I mean, it's like the same body of water, but I go to different sections. That's basically what I do. But then in the
Uh,
que in the club I fish with, it's all lakes, so I'll be visiting all kinds of places.
Scott, hang on to your information. We're gonna hopefully get you on a live stream coming up. So Scott Black, one for July. I'm excited to hear what he has to say. But I'm
Yeah,
gonna try to get the
wonder
rest of
what
the
he
guys and do on a live stream. And a lot of it is just I knew Kyle, so I only messaged him like an hour ago or less. I was like, hey, you want to do this? I'm very like I don't plan ahead very much to do these
Yeah, I don't
things.
either.
So I was like, if Kyle's available, he'll do it. And so they worked out good. What rod do you? Because I don't use a lot of jigs. What rod? Like, tell me your rod line setup for that jig.
Well, I don't really do the typical what everyone else does. You know, I've mentioned that Vendetta to you before, and there you are. Yeah, that's what I use. I use a 6.6 medium heavy Abu Garcia Vendetta spinning rod, and then I use this Daiwa Regal, a spinning reel. It's $60 reel. It's a 6.2 to 1 speed. So I got a 6-speed reel, and then that rod's good and stiff, and it's got that rubber grip on it. And that rod's only $90 too. So that's a $150 combo. And then I started using only a Brazex. I use 10-pound of Brazex because it's Seagar Brazex, and it's real tough. Like in that last tournament Saturday, I had a fish stuck for 15 minutes that I ended up getting out, and it actually it helped me get higher, but I was already in the position I was in. But still, I didn't break that fish off, and I've got numerous fish in that have gotten me stuck with that Abrazex. So
Is
yeah, I
that
use spinning rod.
is that a fluoro or is it like a copolymer or
Yes,
what?
no, it's just fluorocarbon.
I'm gonna write that
Just
down.
Yeah, Brazex. It's a little pricey, but on Amazon, I got 1,000 yards for $80. It's like 30
Okay.
bucks. I think it's like $30 for 200 yards.
Yeah.
But I just bought that 1,000 yards full for $80, and then I'm good.
Yeah. It'll last you well. Yeah, that's different. I wouldn't expect. I mean, most people that throw in a bigger jig like that, they're gonna use like a casting setup.
But since I'm in my kayak and I'm in moving water, and like I'm not always squared up to where I'm setting the hook, like I'll be fishing behind me and I'll have to like all goofy set the hook, and I don't know. I'm just more comfortable with I've tried bait casters and I just miss fish and lose fish, and I just quit. I use bait casters for moving stuff. If I'm throwing it out and reeling it in, I'll use a bait caster. But other
I
than
finally started using bait casters for like my spinner bait and like stuff
Yep.
like that. But most of the times, like I'm gonna throw like a medium spinning rod in my hand, and that's what I'm using all for pretty much everything. And that's and also like a lot of people just don't understand river fishing, the difficulties of moving current. You're constantly fighting the water. It's you can't
It
explain
doesn't
it to people.
Yeah, it doesn't stop. Never
Yeah,
stop.
and you have to account for that. Like I lose so many fish because of that. It is difficult to because
Yeah.
sometimes you're moving towards the fish, sometimes you're moving away from the fish.
Yeah.
You're trying to like not hit a tree, set the hook.
It gets
I love it. It's a challenge for sure. It's a whole nother level. But people that have never done it or like you're just not used to it, or if you only fish off a boat, or something like that, it's like a lot of the when I watch I know you watch a lot of the guys that like teach bass fishing. Like every time I watch these people, I'm like, all right, now how does that apply to what I do?
Yeah.
Because they're like, I
Exactly.
use this rod and this line. I'm like, yeah, well, that won't work for me. So
Yeah.
no, you have to take everything like that.
Yeah, you kinda have to figure out your own thing, man. Like, you can take stuff from everywhere, but you definitely have to apply it, to what you do. So I'm like, that just ain't gonna work for me.
Yeah, it always changes.
Especially what you were saying, especially if you hook a really big one out there in the moving water, and now you're moving down the river, and like those big ones are just really extra hard, man. They're really strong too.
Yeah,
Yeah, it gets
yeah, and
crazy.
they find and they use that current to their
Yeah,
advantage where they get
they know.
extra like leverage, and yeah, it's a mess, and like you and a lot of times to me the hardest thing I think is casting on point because you might only get one or two casts unless you're like
Yeah,
well it depends on how you're fishing, but still you have to get just in the right. You have to get that cast right when you need to. You can't be late. You can't take your time. You got to get
yeah.
that cast in if you're trying to hit a spot
If
because
you
you're
get
always
stuck,
moving around.
yeah, and then if you get stuck, you cast it up in a tree. It's like now you got to go get it. You ever get stuck and then you'll see a new spot, like, oh, I could cast in this spot now that I'm over here getting my lure. Then you get stuck again right there. Now you got to go deeper into where you just were.
Yeah.
That's something that happens to me.
I just hate getting stuck in fast water, and you got to make a decision in about half a second, break off or
Yeah, I
try to get
know.
it. You're like,
You just let it go. Yeah, I
so
know.
it's either it's like
Yeah,
you got
I
to
knew.
decide.
No, I got it figured out. I knew you were gonna say that though. That's good stuff. I have to do that sometimes too.
I did it, or I made a video when I went to Virginia. I made one of the videos like right after, and then I did one like a couple weeks ago. But I was throwing a spinner bait, and we were just rolling. The water was moving. I got snagged, and it was already behind me. And immediately I knew I wasn't going back. I just grabbed the
Mm-mm.
reel and just popped it
Yeah.
because there was no way I was getting back up. Even if I had turned around, I couldn't. It would have took me 15 minutes to paddle back upstream. With that
Sometimes you
current.
just can't. Sometimes you just, yep, you can't.
And then I was talking to Aaron. Aaron's Outdoors. We're gonna go fish the Flint River next or in a couple days. But we was talking about fishing different waters, and I was talking about how and I was talking to you also about this, how different rivers are different. Where some like mountain rivers they drop
Yeah,
faster, and there's some
totally.
people look at shoals like they'll see a video where I'm like walking a shoal or something, or I said, oh, that was a dangerous, and they're like, I'll ride that every day. I'm like, it's everywhere is different. Wherever you fish, there it's a different. Um,
Yeah.
and even some of the rivers I fish, like one to the other, are totally different. Like one of them, I don't have to worry about areas, or maybe it's all gravel and you can just roll through stuff. And then the next one has big boulders where you can be going down a stretch and there's just boulders and you can't maneuver around them. And if you hit them, you can easily tip. So that's where I feel like kayaking, and that's what I love about it. Like the video I put out a couple days ago where like
Man,
Alex Rudd, he flipped, and I went and Josh Sharp, like we all just about flipped, and we all took like very minimal gear. I had 3 rods, like 1 bag of tackle, and like some food. And like you don't want to take a ton of stuff with you.
that was a crazy video.
That was one of the
That
most
was a mega
tired days
trip.
I've ever been.
Yeah, that was after I had messaged you, I think, and told you I was up doing that Fontana, and you were like, "I just got done doing a
Yeah.
10-hour trip." And I was like, "I know that feeling. I know it's just like dead tired right now." Like,
um, how do you rig your rod? Like, how many rods are you taking? Say you're going on a river, and how do you set them up?
mm,
Like, where you got them at?
like 7. So I just have I have a black crate, and then I bought the rod holders that mount on your boat. It's like a three rod holder thing that you like screw into like your center console. And I've got 3 of those zip tied to 3 sides of the crate. So I got 9 rod holders on that crate. And that sits behind me. And so I mean I'll take 9 because they don't really bother me because they're behind me. Unless I have to keep going under a tree if I get stuck to go get my jig or whatever. But yeah, I mean I'll take like 7. I like to take my jig. I'll take a top water. I'll take like a smaller, like bottom bait, like a Helgramite. I like throwing a Lucky Craft jerk bait. Um, I like a swim bait, and sometimes I'll have like a whopper flopper and a walking bait, just
Hmm.
depending on. Sometimes they'll hit one and then they'll quit hitting it. They're on to you, and then you throw the other one. Then they'll hit that for a minute, and then they'll stop hitting that. You can like cycle through baits on these groups of fish. I think because they'll get onto you real quick and they figure out what you're throwing, and then you can just pick up and up like can throw an underspin, and then they quit hitting that, and okay, now they'll just hit a plain swim bait without the blade, and then I'll pretty much leave them alone.
Yeah, and it's also different. Like, if you're fishing like below dams, and like you said, that fishing below dams for me is so tricky. Like you said, you got to go every day because you don't know which day they're hitting. Like
Yeah,
we got a couple by me, and I've had my worst days there and my best days there. It's like
and I never
it's
know
so
why either.
yeah. The water could be the same, doing the same thing and everything.
Yeah, yep, and it's just like where'd they go? I have no idea, but that's what I like about it. Part of what I like about it.
You, I know you fish. I know you fish below dams and stuff. What other do you fish? Other rivers or do you lake fish any?
Well, with the club I fish, it's Queen City Kayak Bass Fishing.
Okay.
So the heat there's a main series, there's a west division, and there's a southern division. So there's opportunities. I mean, I could just fish. It's cool because that shows me places, gets me out of where I always fish, is what it does. But I always try to find some kind of river stuff if I can. But I will fish, lakes. Like I don't have depth finder, but I have Navionics app on my phone. It's just like a topo map, and I'll find points and whatever, all your typical stuff they say in the videos.
Yeah. I just find a bank and I follow the tree lines. I don't know anything else.
But lakes are definitely tougher, man, with boats.
Yeah. Oh, dude, that's another reason
Yeah.
I hate fishing lakes.
I got my
Go ahead.
no. It's all right. It's kind of glitching out for me. I hope it catches up.
You're good. Now I live right by Chickamauga Lake, and
There we go.
there can be 5-6 boats go down the same bank every day. It's like you can't find anything that's new almost.
Yeah, that's the tough part because there's always boat tournaments on the lakes for doing kayak tournaments, and they're all live scoping, and like they'll go by a dock and they're like, nope, and they just take off because they see there's nothing under there. But
Yeah.
I mean, you really know. So yeah, lakes are tough. I have a hard time at lakes sometimes.
You froze up, but I can still hear you. Tell us about your kayak. What kayak you use? Did you hear that?
I missed that.
Tell us about your kayak.
I have I got a Jackson Bite. It's kind of just like a big barge, man. It's a sit on top. It's 11.5 foot. It only weighs like 74 pounds or 71. So I throw it up on top of my Jeep Cherokee. It's got a seat you put in and out of it. The seats are mounted on they have these metal tracks, so those don't wear out. Because I had another one before, a Perception Pescador, and where you put the seat into the plastic, I go so much that plastic, the seat ended up punching through that plastic. But this Jackson Bite, the seat's on metal tracks, and yeah, I have a computer. I sit on a computer cushion that I put in that chair, so I can just sit all day. It's just this big hunk of foam.
Hmm.
Yeah, man, it works really well. And then it has storage. It's just got room under the seat. It's just a big flat platform.
What's
That's why I
how
like it.
long is it?
It's 11.5 foot or
Okay.
11 foot. I'm not sure. I think it's 11.5.
Yeah. I don't remember. I can't remember what that one is. I did get to try that new Kusa X.
Oh
Um,
yeah,
I used it one day. I got to try it out, and it's pretty big. It's huge. It's kind of big, and it's very stable. It's a little hard to paddle. Like it's pretty heavy.
yeah.
But I've been
That's
using
why I
that
like mine.
lately, and the Bonafide, and they're pretty light compared to like most kayaks.
Yeah, y'all get around pretty good in those shoalies.
Yeah, that's still the fastest kayak that I've paddled. Like paddling it, it'll fly. And
Yeah,
like
yeah.
for current, it just glides upstream if you want to go upstream. It's
Yep.
pretty cool for that.
Yeah, I noticed
Um,
that.
that definitely helps out
Same
for
thing with
removals
that
and
bite.
stuff.
I just cruise through the top of the water.
Yeah. Um, what if you can hear me, you froze
A little
up right there.
glitchy.
Yeah.
Yep, same.
What tournaments do you have left for this year? Do you know like how many?
Yeah, so they take your best 7 out of the 10 main series. We've done 6, I think, or we've done 5. And then I think we've done 5 or 6. I've done 5 total. And then I got 2 more coming up. There's 3 left. So we've done 7. And I've done 5. We have to do a total of 7 to make the championship. I got 2 more places that I should do well in. So hopefully I make the TOC. I got 2 more that I'm definitely 100% doing.
Let me answer
2
this question here. Chuck
Yeah.
Allen says, "I'd like to hear what you prefer, the Bonafide versus Shoaley. I'm an Old Town PDL. I'm in an Old Town PDL 120. and look, you get setting better for rivers. Yeah, I have an Old Town PDL 120, and I've taken it down lots of rivers because that was the first kayak that was ever given to me. The first one, the first couple that I bought were just cheap kayaks, and when I got the Old Town, it's very stable. I like it; it's comfortable, but it doesn't maneuver in like skinnier rivers. Now, if you're going in big rivers, it's fine. But between the Shoaly and the Bonafide RVR, I mean, I would if I knew which one was better, I would tell you. Like that's I feel like they're very close kayaks. Now they're different designs and they're different for sure. The Shoaly is faster, but that comes at a cost where it's not as stable. The Bonafide RVR is definitely more comfortable and stable. The Shoaly, the seat on the Shoaly comes out way easier, I feel like, than the Bonafide RVR. The Shoaly has a storage thing in the front hatch, and the RVR is like all open. So there's like differences there. Which one was, what do you like better? They're both really good kayaks. They're both around the same price. And if you're looking for something on the rivers, either one I think is fine. Just go whatever one you prefer. Maybe what brand. But it's definitely there's a big when you go if you're river fishing, you go from the Old Town 120 to one of those, you'll notice a big difference in maneuverability because they're actually designed better for current. Now you might feel a little tippier, but if you're not planning on standing up the whole time, I can stand up and fish in both of them, but I can stand up easier in the Bonafide than the Shoaly if that's something you're looking into. But I'm 6'4" and 230. So it's different depending on how big you are. Hopefully that answers some of that question. This one here, natural lakes are awesome. Yes, we don't have any around us. Kyle, you probably don't have any around you either. Everything's reservoirs.
Yeah, everything's got dams and stuff. Everything's just a big river around here.
Yeah, same here.
And yeah, I was looking at the map around there. That's y'all have so many.
Yeah, there's
endless water.
I probably got 6 dams within less than an hour from my house. Probably like 40 minutes from my house. I could get to at least 6 of them.
Yeah, it's a lot different though. It's all so much different.
Yeah, some of them are small, some are huge, some are like 50,000 acres. Some are like Parksville Lake's like 3,000 acres. So we definitely got variety. I like the variety, but I do feel like if it's compared to natural lakes, we can't really compare. Natural lakes depends on where you're at. We only have one natural lake in Tennessee, and that's in West Tennessee, whatever that lake is. I forgot what it's called, and it's real shallow. So natural lakes are totally different than like these reservoirs because we have dams. They're controlled for generation. They're also controlled for flood control, and they go up and down. There's a lot of things going on, but when they go up, my favorite thing, Kyle, around here is when the water level comes up in the summertime, all the little creek channels, the fish go like all the fish, the sunfish, the bass, everything. They go way up those channels as far as they can to like spawn and little ones to get away from like predators, and then the bass follow them. But dude, I can fish those all summer, and I never have to go into the lake really. And I can catch, I may not catching the biggest bass, but I can catch 2 and 3 pounders out of
never run out of fish.
Yeah, and they love it. They get way up in these creek channels, and sometimes I'll wait them. Sometimes I'll try to get my kayak up there, but that's something I always look forward to every spring or whenever they raise the water because everything goes up those creek channels. But what's up from Arky Outdoors? Get a couple. Anybody got any questions for Kyle real quick? Kyle, you got anything else you want to say or add?
No,
all right, here you go. Advice for a new river kayak fisherman. What would you say? Somebody that's just getting into river kayaking.
You got to start slow. Don't try to go too far away from the ramp. You got to test the waters and test your paddling, and you just got to get used to like the feel of the kayak. And like the worst thing you can do is go down some rapids sideways. Like it's pretty much over if you don't want to go sideways into a rock, because I can do it and I won't flip because you can anticipate that water. If you lean that way, you're good, but That's how I went down my first time. You just go sideways and you just keep going. But definitely don't try too much at first. Just hang out near the ramp, especially if there's current and stuff, you know. Don't go too far away. You got to make sure you can get back. You don't want to be getting rescued and be on the news and stuff. I mean, you could, it's fine. Don't be too proud to call for rescue too if you need it. That's another good thing. It's good advice.
Yeah, especially before it gets too late or something like that. It makes it
Yep,
messed up.
and it could come
Yeah,
higher.
if you're by yourself, that's another one.
Yeah,
You
take somebody.
yeah, try to find somebody to go with you.
Yep,
And
that's
then
another good thing.
what, like, I still do this today. Like, me and so the video that me, Alex, and Josh did, like, I wasn't going down that river by myself. Like, and then
Mm-mm.
so what I did was we went down that, and we were kind of all helping each other out get down these rapids and just looking out for each other.
Yeah,
And then we actually did another one that just last week.
the next following week.
Yeah, so we went back to back weeks, and I haven't edited that video yet, but
Yeah,
it was a 10-mile stretch of a river that is in the Cherokee National Forest. So, like 6 miles of it is in the National Forest. There's no access to. And I've
cool.
been wanting to do it for like 3 years, like literally. But
Yeah,
I was not going to go by myself because I didn't know what it was like. Now, some people might be like, don't be a chicken. I'm just like, I'd rather be
nah,
careful. And it's a
smart. Don't
long way.
nah.
And
Yeah,
if you
you
get
never
stranded
know.
out there, there is like, I would have to walk a mountain. Like, you're looking,
Yeah,
in a mountain, you're in a mountain gorge. You're
that's
not like
how it
you're just
was up
trotting out of
there.
there.
Yep, that's how it was up at Fontana.
Yeah.
And another thing, you'll notice on Google Maps, I mean, I know you know, but if just because something looks like one thing on Google Maps, when you show up, it doesn't always look like that, you know. It might be showing all these rocks and it's all low and looks fine, and then you show up and you don't see any rocks and it's like flying. So yeah, you just never know about rivers. That's another thing, you know.
Yeah, I would say if you're especially if you're new to kayaks, get in your kayak and get in a stable in like a calm water and rock it and stand up on it and turn around and do as much as you can to push where you really get comfortable in that kayak. Because once you get in current just grabs you. And also write it out. Whatever's happening. Like I did this like people that go back from like dirt bikes to four wheelers. I don't know if you've ridden both. Like a dirt bike, you stick your leg out, to prop yourself. And a four wheeler, you ride it. I stuck my leg out in a four wheeler and I ran over my leg.
Oh, no.
The back tire caught
Terrible.
my leg because I was used to like riding a dirt
Oh,
bike. So I
yeah, no,
like
I
stuck
never
my
rode dirt
foot out to
bikes.
brace myself. And like, no,
Mhm.
you just a kayak, you ride it out. Don't brace yourself from anything else. Current, you paddle through it. If you're gonna go, just go. But
Yeah,
just
the
get
boat's gonna go
comfortable
through. Mhm.
and yeah, be safe and just but have fun. You got to try stuff to learn. Take some risk in life. You got you can't be you can't just be cautious or you can't be. I mean, I guess you can. You can be too cautious if you want to, but also like it's okay to take a little bit of risk and try some stuff. Hope nobody dies. All right, somebody had
Yeah,
a
dude.
question up here. Hold on. There we go. So how much stand-up fishing do you actually do? My kayak is not stable enough, and trying to figure out if I should buy another one. That is, for me, I don't do that much stand-up fishing because I'm in current most of the time, and in current, you are constantly paddling. Even with my pedal drive, I'm pedaling, so I'm always trying to maintain my situation. But I know guys that they stand up a ton on their kayaks
Yep,
and fish. Do you
yep.
stand up any?
I don't really stand up. Sometimes if it's off and it's really, like, not moving, I'll stand up, but nah, I don't really stand up. But that Jackson Bite is really stable. That's something I meant to say. You can definitely stand up in that thing, like, easy. But yeah, I know a lot of guys that stand up mostly too. Like these lake guys, these Hobie guys and stuff. They're standing up all day and they'll hook a fish and fly up, you know. And I'm like, I wish I could do that because I can't. I have like this stand assist strap. I have to like grab that to get up out of the boat, you know, or out of the chair.
Just keep fishing. I have to go by myself all the time. Yeah. Well, I mean, sometimes it's like I do this for a living. and I still have to like wait sometimes to if I want to do things. I got to find somebody to either pick me up or to go with me. But what you can do, I've been doing a little research and find if there's rivers around you that you want to kayak, like go to Google, type in the river, and type in canoe rental. And a lot of times there's guide
Oh yeah.
services that I'm. So my goal is to do a video coming up. Hopefully, hopefully it works out. I don't want to like say too much about it because if it doesn't work out, where I'm gonna kayak 5 rivers in 5 days. I don't know if I'll do it. I don't know if it's gonna happen, but
Yeah.
they all have guide services. So I'm gonna hop each day. I'm gonna go to a different guide service, and they're gonna put me on a river.
Or eat a
It
lot
probably
of
won't
food.
happen because I'll probably be
Yeah.
like 2 days in. I'm like I'm too tired.
Yeah, you just need to eat a lot of food because you're gonna be using a lot of energy doing that, dude. You get really tired kayaking too, like rivers and stuff like that, man. You use a lot of energy. You're using all these muscles you don't use all the time, and it's a trip.
You are definitely you're doing so much you don't realize. It's like playing
Uh-huh.
sports. Like when I play basketball, I'll run all day, but I'm not just gonna go out and run. But like you're
Yeah.
doing so much because you have to do it. Did you mention an app for scouting points? I don't know what
Me?
that's about, Aaron.
I don't think
When will
so.
you two? We will. I actually need to get back out your way like soon
Yeah,
before it gets
and I
cold.
was
But also he's going to be coming over in
Gunnersville.
to Gunnersville. And are you going to be filming? Are you still filming
Yeah.
stuff?
I haven't been lately. I'm gonna, but like when you post a video catching a 7 pounder and everyone knows where it's at, it just kind of,
Yeah,
so I just kind of slowed down. But I was just about to say I'm gonna bring the GoPro to Gunnersville, and then
yeah,
since I just drove to the mountains, my car's doing all right. I was thinking I could make a trip up to Tennessee. Maybe I can do that before the year's out, before it gets cold. I know it's gonna get cold. It'll be here before we know it up there.
yeah. I know that's what I was looking at. Like it's before you know it's going to be cooling down, which I like
It
getting out on the lakes a lot more in that when it's cool. But right now, anytime I can be wading or kayaking a skinny river, that's what I want to be doing right now.
because it's gonna go away. Because it was like 70 this morning. And I was like, whoa,
Yeah.
or like 68 maybe or something.
Um, yeah, I need to get back over there. Undo the Harpeth. I did that here a while back in the spring, and it wasn't a great day. The water was up, but I want to do it again. Oh, Navionics, Chris Moment. Yeah, that's good for finding stuff. I don't really use any
Oh
electronics or
yeah, I'm sorry. That is that is what I was saying. I'm sorry. That is
yeah,
what he
that's
was
it.
talking about. Yeah, you can download Navionics. It's like $11. Um, but then you can use it for every lake. It's like $11 a year, I think. But yeah, that's what I use. I mean, it doesn't show you anything except the topo map, and people can mark places. They can put like rocks, or it's like a public, anybody can put stuff, but it doesn't mean that's going to be a good spot, or it's just something when you don't have anything, it's something. Thanks Chris for mentioning that. I totally forgot.
Me and Chris just a couple days ago, and he's been putting out a ton of videos. If you don't know Chris Johnson, and wait, oh, you're commenting on Facebook. I'm about to say I didn't look right, so you can follow him there, but you can find him fishing with Chris on YouTube. I got 2 apps, and then I'll get Kyle off here, and I'm gonna just do a little recap of the video and the giveaways. But the River app, it's just called River app. Do you use that?
But I've heard you talk about it, I think, or all trails app is what I've heard you talk about.
It's not showing up. It's just called River app. Yeah, All
It,
Trails app is good for finding like I use it. It's for trails, but I kind of use it for finding like greenways and stuff. But the River app, it's just called River app. You can mark rivers, and I went ahead and paid for it. It's like a one-time fee for like $12 or $13, and it tells you the water gauges for the last year. So like, and the mountains around here, I mean, I'm surrounded by hills. Like I could look over here at one river, and it'd be like normal, and I look over here at another river, it could be 6 feet high. So I can look on my map and be like, or if it's dropping, if it rained 3 days ago, I'm like, let me check this river. Type in that river, and I look and see what the water level is. And
oh,
if as long as they have
shows
water
you all
gauges,
that.
do it.
It
But as
shows
long as
you
I
all that stuff, the water levels and stuff.
yeah, as long as they have water gauges, it'll tell you. And also another one is I got one more that Drew Gregory told me, and actually it was pretty cool. Oh, I can't find it now. I don't even remember what the name it was. It was something else. I'll look for it. Well, if I find it, I'll let you know. But it was well, never mind. Forget I said that. Now everybody's gonna be wondering.
That's all right.
I can't remember what it's called, so I don't remember how to look it up. But I can't find it on
Maybe
here.
he mentioned it somewhere, Drew Gregory. I'm sure he's mentioned it
Yeah,
somewhere.
he's mentioned it a bunch. Yeah, he talks about it, and it's an app for like just finding locations, and it like you can type in the name of the river, and it'll tell you like access points, public access points. And I found a new one the other day by doing it. I was like, I just typed it
Yeah,
in,
that's
and
sweet.
but you can, I'm sure somebody can find it. But um, let me catch up real quick. The TVA app, TVA Lake, but all right. Oh, somebody asked one more question, and I'll get your take on it because this is important stuff. You know, if you don't have some food and some drinks for kayaking, what are you doing? I mean, do you stop? Do you get focused on fishing where you don't stop to drink or eat, or can you make yourself like take a break?
Yeah, I always have like a Sprite or a Dr. Pepper, or I started taking water recently because I know I need to. And then I just take crackers basically, or I'll take a granola bar, something I can eat real quick.
Hmm.
And then I just keep going. Only if I'm like really hungry. I will usually if I get really hot, I'll just stop in the shade for a minute. But yeah, you gotta take freaking soda and water and crackers. Those peanut butter crackers.
I get I drain like I get tired like very fast and like and I consume like a lot of food. Like I have to I'm like continually always eating like consuming
Yeah.
stuff. And I've always done that like ever since I was, young playing sports, but I would play like basketball after the basketball game, I would be like dead tired. And like everybody else is like running around. I'm like, I have no energy left. I'm like, I'm so tired. I just get exhausted. Where kayaking, if I kayak all day, it does that to me. I'll be so tired if I don't like have it. I'll try to bring a sandwich sometimes if I know I'm gonna be out there all day, or if it's a tournament, 8-hour tournament. I'm like, all right, I got to bring a sandwich. I got to bring 2 or 3 drinks, a Gatorade, a
Yeah.
couple waters. I'm like, I need like a bunch of stuff, and I won't eat it. I'll eat some of it, and every time the next day I'm like just exhausted, or I'll get a headache from like dehydration or something like that.
No, when I come
Uh,
home now, I'll eat like 2 meals when I get home because 'cause I'm so hungry. My girlfriend will make like a giant steak and then I'll like something else even after that or I'll order like 2 meals to go or something like I'm really yeah, like pow like eat like a weightlifter is what I always
yeah,
say. Like, I eat like a power lifter, so I need like 2 meals.
yeah.
Yeah, it's like that, man.
Last question. You didn't tell me. I want to know how do you transport your kayak?
Like I just throw it on my Jeep and then I have a cart. Then I just wheel it down to the river.
Okay.
Ratchet straps on my Jeep Cherokee and then I just take it off the side. I just lean it off the side and then the cart I kind of souped up. I use those carts everybody has with the red wheels, but those tires aren't really tires and they just like rip apart eventually cuz I'll walk a lot. I just do a lot. And I bought these, I think they're like lawnmower tires or something, and I put those
Hmm.
on that same cart, and I think they're gonna last me forever. Like, they actually have where you can inflate them, like, they're actually tires. So, they're a little bit heavy on the front of my boat, but I'm used to it now. But they work really well. So, that's what I do now. I can take it anywhere through gravel,
Huh.
wherever. They work really well.
So that brings me to one last thing I'll talk to you about, and people ask all the time, like, well, I got a bunch of kayaks right now, so I got several, and I'm going back and forth trying. Each day I like if I'm doing, I'll go from this one to that one to this one, and some of them I have the same stuff on, but I don't like putting. I hate putting a lot of accessories on there
Yeah.
because I'm not sliding mine up on a truck on top of a Jeep like you are, which is worse because you got to get everything out. But
Yeah.
I'll put it in the back of the truck, and half the time, if I'm going with somebody else, we got 1, 2, or 3 kayaks all piled on top of each other. And if you have a bunch of little accessories, a bunch of little knobs, you can't do that. It just either breaks it or you spend way too long like messing with stuff. And unless you're trailering your kayak, it's hard to have a lot of different accessories on there.
No, I've gotten really efficient with it. I got my crate, and that's got all my stuff in it. And then I've got like a bag or a box I keep under my seat. So like I take it off my car, put it on the wheels, throw the chair in it with that box that goes under the chair with my board too. And then the crate goes in the back. And then, I mean, I put the rods in, off I go. I can do it in like 10 minutes, real quick. Then I get down to
Yeah,
the water because people tube out there like crazy. So
yeah,
I have to be quick in and out,
getting it
and
out. Yeah,
it just gets insane in the summertime. I had to figure something out.
that's it. That's a good tip there. Like if you are getting a kayak, and try to get everything concise and have it like organized. And for me and guys that video, it's even more stuff when you got to bring camera gear
Right.
and like set up your cameras and get the angles right. So half my time is just spent like trying to just put batteries in there, hooking up cords, adjusting, the angle and this and that. So, but
That's
yeah,
part why
I'm agree. Like have everything like in packages and just like ready to go. Where it's like throw it on, throw it on, throw it on, and you get out there.
efficient. Yeah. That's why I don't
Yep.
have that's like why I don't want to get a depth finder, because I'm like, that's gonna be a whole nother step when I load and then when I unload. And I'm like, I could just do without that step and we'll just go without it. But then I'm on a
You've been
lake
doing
and
pretty good. So yeah.
but then I hit a big lake and I'm like, oh, I
Uh,
have to get
yeah.
electronics. I can't do this every time. And then I'm like, nah, I don't need them again.
I
I
know.
always
I
go back.
fished with kayak catfish like a year or two ago, and he showed me how he was targeting catfish. And I followed him on my kayak, and he was catching catfish like crazy. And I catch like 1 to every 5 he catches because he's following this channel that drops off,
Yeah.
and he's just sitting right on it. And I'm like, I'm thinking about that for bass fishing and
Yep.
for other stuff. I'm like, that's crazy. I never really thought of it like that, but like he's just watching this channel, dropping his lures right on this channel, and I'm like off by 10 feet or 5 feet this way, and I'm not getting bites. And I'm like, or he knows how far down to drop and stuff like that. So it is very. I'm sure I'll kind of get it, and I would love to. I got a trailer that I kind of want to fix up for my bigger kayak and like where I can keep stuff. But I don't have a shed or anything, so all my kayaks are outside, so I can't
Oh
leave
yeah.
anything on them.
So it'll be
And I
another
hate,
step.
yeah, it just drives me crazy to. That's why I love the simple things. Throw the kayak in the
Same.
back, throw the seat in there. I already got my stuff in the truck, in the cab. Go.
Yeah. And then I do well in a tournament and I'm like, see, I don't need it. But
Yeah,
then I do bad and I'm like, see, I need it.
yeah.
Like,
Go back and forth.
yeah,
Hey, Kyle,
man.
appreciate you coming on here.
Thanks for
I'll be
having
talking to
me,
you
man.
again, and I'm looking forward to meeting with you and some of the other guys. And also next week I'll be talking. I'll try to get with one of the other guys, and we'll do another live stream next week with them. But dude, appreciate you coming on here. I'm going to wrap up the channel.
Yeah,
But
thanks for having me, man. Sorry about the internet issues. And y'all check out True South Custom Jigs, man. John Martin is the dude. He will make you some jigs. Just message him on Facebook.
and Kyle does do Instagram. I know you got a YouTube channel too.
Oh yeah, check out
But
the Instagram. That's what. Yeah, I changed my name to the Carolina Bass Hunter up there, so hopefully they figured that out. And then yeah, there's Instagram. Um, Tons of pictures and stuff on there too. So
dude, he catches
yeah, man. I'll see you
monster
in
spotted
Guntersville.
bass. He's always sending me pictures. You're
Yeah.
making me jealous. I'm like, oh, I gotta get one better than that. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
you got
pretty
to get
cool.
down here, man.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
you'll
gotta get
send
one.
me yours too. You sent me like a 19 or something or 20 something not too long ago. I was like,
Yeah.
golly, John.
Yeah.
All right, man. Thanks for having me, man.
All right, dude. Talk to you later.
Later.
I really appreciate Kyle coming on. I'll hopefully get have a guy ready for next week, and I'll try to get with him. But let me recap a little bit of the people that won the tournament, the discount tackle $50 gift card. So, like I said, I gave 6 people won the discount. I won a $50 gift card to Discount Tackle, the online website that I'm working with. Also, next month, we're going to try to have, I'm going to get with Patrick, and we're going to have the Pradco giveaway. So he's LureNet. So LureNet said it was going to be a $250 gift card to LureNet that he's going to give away. We're going to try to do that next week, but I'm also going to see what else I can get. Maybe a couple other little goodies or something. Maybe a 25 or or 50 or something like that for some random people. But I'm going to mention these people: Ross Colella, Michael Milligan, Joey Mitchell, Angie Henderson, Brian Birch, and Brian Long. Make sure y'all message me, and they're winning the $50 gift cards. So that's 6 of them. And the winners, if you didn't know, the winners for April, Bart Foster. For May was Albert Poor. June was Kyle. And July, Scott Black. For those are the 4 winners, they're going to go meet up with me in Guntersville in November for the Knucklehead tournament. If you still want to enter, mine are all done. But you know what? Maybe you're like, I didn't want to enter his tournament anyways. You can get with Team Bearded Dad. Yeah, dude, I've watched his videos. He does good videos on kayaks and stuff. You can go with Larry Melton Jr. I fished with him this summer. We had a blast. He's got a team. Team Flanders. Team Stark. Team Wendell. And I think that was the last ones. And Team Cruise Missile. So they're going to be doing it for a couple more months, I believe. And as far as that, so any questions? Oh, let me recap Creek. Oh, it's already been over an hour. All right, if you're still watching or you care to watch, I'm going to recap what's been going on with me recently and what am I doing coming up. So the last few weeks, I've been doing business stuff. It's boring. I don't like it, but I had to do it. I created a business. My business name is Blue Way Outdoors. A lot of this I'm trying to learn for tax stuff and just to kind of protect myself, and my goal this year is to treat my channel, everything that's in it, everything that has to do with my YouTube channel, as a business, but treat my videos as fun. So business wise, I'm paying a buddy of mine that he is editing shorts for YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook. And because I wanted to get more like shorts and those things out there, I'm working on, I don't know if I should even say it. I guess I'm working on a merchandise company that my family is doing. My sister, my brother, they're kind of messing with, and we're hopefully going to have that going because a lot of people have been asking me about merchandise, and if it wasn't for that, I wouldn't even be doing this. But a lot of people have been asking about it, so I'm trying to start my own merchandise company, like in-house. Like I can do it through third parties and through websites and stuff like that, but I would like to do it like with somebody I know, and whoever's making the money, I'd rather it be a family member. My sister's got like 7 kids; they'd probably help in it. So that's the goal there. I've talked to some people about doing some lure stuff. That's a long way from now, probably. What else is going on? I got a few companies that I'm working with. I'm looking to work with more companies. I'm looking to kind of grow my revenue outside of YouTube through sponsorships or, things like that. And I got a couple things I got to do videos on coming up that I'm, some are getting paid for. Sometimes it's for like free gear or stuff like that. So I'm trying to treat the outside the channel stuff as business and get it like, an account for that. And then I've talked to several accountants, trying to, get on track for that. So that's stuff that it's not the fun part of YouTube, but if I want to keep doing this, being able to make videos, then that's kind of stuff I gotta do. That's the hard part, I'd say. Making videos is easy. I can go out and fish and make a video. It's easy, but it's all the other things like paying thousands of dollars in taxes. That's not fun. Things like that. So that's kind of stuff I need to work on to get better professional wise. I set up this, recently I created this studio room, and it's helped me edit videos a lot better. I feel like I can focus better with I got like a bigger screen. I need to buy another screen so I can have like, stuff like that. I don't really like being on a computer. So some days I'll come in here and edit for 2-3 hours, and it just drives me crazy. And I just gotta go fish. And sometimes I don't even like I went out and fished today. Like I didn't even care if I caught anything. I just went out and I fished like an hour because I've been doing a lot of just like random stuff. I was like, I gotta do a little bit of fishing. But where was I going with this? I've gotten to do a couple big float trips. We did 2 weeks in a row. I went with Alex Rudd and Josh Sharp, and we floated a river in the Cumberland Plateau, Big South Fork area, and then we did one in the Cherokee National Forest. Both of them were just it was more work and more more work and kayaking than fishing. And then the river that we just did, I didn't catch that many fish. It was kind of crazy, but it's a river that I've caught giant bass out of. But for me, I'd had a pretty rough day. But it's a skinny river, and we were 3 people into it, and the fishing wasn't the greatest. So, but Josh and Alex both caught giants, like some really good fish. So I was really excited to see that. I told them that like I hope y'all are getting a giant. Unfortunately, I didn't get any big ones, but I'm still gonna make a video. It was a fun day. I am going. I got a trip planned for a couple days. Meeting up with Aaron. I haven't fished with Aaron in a while. Um, and then I have a big trip that I'm going to try to do this week, next week. That's something I've wanted to do for. I've like written down this idea for at least 2 years, and I'm going to attempt to do it next week. Now you won't know about it probably for a few weeks because it'll take me a while to like get it all together. But it's something. That's another thing where I'm like I want to try push myself to do different stuff. I don't want to just do boring or just the same videos. Well, they're not boring. Well, I hope they're not. They're not to me. Everything I do. I like doing a lot of different things. But I'm like, I want to try something bigger, something that might reach a different audience. Maybe that gets my name kind of known in different realms. Where it's like, oh, did you hear about the Creek guy doing this thing? Stuff like that. So I got a couple ideas to do stuff like that. I was really glad to be a part of this Knucklehead tournament stuff. I feel like that kind of introduced me to new people and new people to me. That was another good thing. So a lot of stuff. I stay pretty busy. I'm a single guy. I have a small house. I really wanted to buy a bigger house. But I think I'm going to put that on hold maybe for a little while because I'm trying to. I got to say, but I don't have enough money for a down payment really, and I don't want to get rid of this house. I think I might just try to really pay this house off here in the next few years. And maybe get a shed built. There's a lot of things. I'm always thinking of stuff, and got a lot going on. And dude, I get so many comments from y'all that are watching, like encouragement. I get emails and not text messages. I try not to give out my number to anybody because I can't handle that much messages. I get emails, Instagram messages, and Facebook messages, and comments, and like all the time of encouragement. It's really really awesome. At the same time, I might not reply to you for 2 or 3 days because I cannot keep up with all the comments because it drives me crazy. Because I have to just turn that part off for a while. Like I gotta just block that out, and like I don't want to look at messages and comments because every comment I read or message, I can't just read it. I gotta think about it. But I mean, send all you want. If I get to it, I get to it. So I really appreciate that, and a lot of people have been reaching out and offering to help and or just offering encouragement. So I'm excited to end out this fall. I got a trip that I'm going to do to I think Maine. It's either Maine or New Hampshire. Are they close together? It's one of those. I got a buddy of mine that he used to coach basketball. I actually helped him coach helped with him when he coached down here, and he's pastoring a church, and he invited me up, and I was like, yeah, that'd be great. I've never been up that way, so I'm gonna try to do that in September. In November, we got the Knucklehead tournament. I'm not coaching basketball this year. That's the plan right now, anyways. I've already talked to the principal and everything, so I'm not sure what I'm gonna do. I think this winter could be something where I do some totally different things that I've never done. Maybe spend more time in Miami. I'm really excited about a Miami trip. Again, I love doing that. Maybe go up ice fishing. I've never ice fished, so I'm gonna try doing things. The channel itself has really been growing, and wow, speaking of growing, that's some pizza right there. Thank you, Mr. Eddie. I really appreciate that. Dude, that's a lot of money to give out. So I appreciate that, Eddie. I'll probably be buying food with that. Just kidding. That's where all my money goes. All my money goes to food. But I want to do a lot with this channel. I want to do a lot more things. Some people aren't going to like the things I do. Some people will, and that's fine. You know, I'm not trying to please anybody or everybody, especially not trying to please everybody. Good luck with that. So I'm going to do things that I feel like I'm excited about, that I love to do. This is coming up on my 8th year. Whew, it is. Is it my 8th year? I think maybe 7th or 8th year of doing YouTube. 7th, over 7 years now. That's a long time of doing this. You know, 4 years in September will be my 4 years of doing it full time. So you can expect things to kind of change and just be different. And I don't even know if I kayaked 4 years ago. Did I have a kayak? I may have had one kayak. Now I have 5 kayaks, you know, stuff like that. And I want more. I'll take more kayaks. You might want to send them to me. That's something I'm really interested in and kind of grown to that way. I'm working on my little boat. I applied for a tag for it, but there was no info on it. So I got to call the people, TWRA, about that. But anyhow, I'm going to wrap that up. I'm kind of rambling. I appreciate people being on here. We got a lot of people watching and a lot of comments, stuff like that. So, Bustin Finn says, I've got a fishing trip planned up in Washington this fall. Yeah, dude, I've never been to Washington. Going somewhere different is so fun to me. It's like, that's where I'm in East Tennessee, and every river is different. Like, I bet you there's a dozen rivers within 2 hours of me that I still haven't fished. Oh, dude, probably way more than that. I could go down into Georgia, even Alabama within 2 hour drive. There's so many places, and I want to do them all. But at the same time, sometimes you got to like try to do something even way far away. Good job, Seth. Man, Seth has not had his channel going long yet. He's already closing on 6,000 subscribers. He's been cranking out videos. Dude, I love the Tiny Boat Nation stuff. I'll watch there's like a few channels that do that, but Tiny Boat Nation is like one of the channels, like the main channel that does that. I would love to have a tiny boat built. I think that would be awesome, but I'm probably never going to do it. I'm messing with a 97 Tahoe right now, and I like messing with trucks, and I go super slow, like fixing things. I'm like fixing this, and I'll fix that, and I fix this little crack on this, and I fix this dash panel over here, and then, stuff like that. The tiny boat thing, I would never be able to put a kit together, but I think it'd be awesome to buy one. Something I can run up in little rivers or like run around on. Let's see here. Brother Hour have made me a kayaking. Oh, must be you. Yeah. A kayak and creek fishing addict. Hey, dude, once you get into it, it's hard to get out of it because you keep finding out. If you get into kayaking or get into like exploring creeks and rivers, you just keep finding out there's more and more places. And then the more and more you find out, you're like, oh, there's more. I got to go. It is for me. I'm like eat up with it. Like, there's so many places I want to go tomorrow. Like, there is so many places I wish I had. Like, you know what? I wish I could go here. And then there's so many that I want to go back to that I've only been to a couple times. I'm thinking of a creek right now in Chattanooga that I haven't been there in 4 or 5 months, and it's an amazing little creek for ultralight fishing. Like, I've always had a blast there. There's another one in Chattanooga area. That's just a town close to me. There's a section I want to kayak that I've never kayaked, and I keep saying I want to do it. Like, there's so many little places. If you get into this kind of stuff, especially around where I live, and then if you commit from bank fishing to wading, like you take that step, you're like, you know what? I've always bank fished, but I never got my feet wet. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna get my feet wet. I don't care what happens to my shoes or how wet I get, I'm gonna start wading. If you just start doing that, you'll find so many places that you can go. All right, last comment, probably, and I'm gonna get off. Love the crayfish videos. Used to just fish for bigger fish, bigger bass, but you got me into ultralight fishing. Went about a month ago. I'm about to lose microlight. Oh yeah, that's a nice little rod. I go back and forth. I love ultralight stuff. I like bass stuff. I tried to catfish the other day. Me and Chris went out. We didn't catch anything. I just don't know much about it or like how to know when the fish are there. But it's hard. It's not the easiest thing in the world around here to like just go out and catch catfish. Some places are easier than others. But all right, I appreciate everybody being on there. We're gonna try to do this hopefully monthly again. And next week we're gonna picking. I might be maybe even picking some people that weren't in the Knucklehead contest. That's what I'm thinking about doing for some giveaways next week. Thanks for watching. In